Hello there! In the past video of this series, we laid out the skeleton of our dynamic form builder. We created our model, update, and view functions. We updated our current state, and it is already being reflected in our view. In the second part, we will add the validation to the dynamic form. There are several approaches to accomplish this. We will take one, which is basically using a dictionary, but let's get started. First of all, I like to define types, so let's define a type for a validation. So it's basically like this. So a validation is going to, it's actually a function. It's a predicate. It will take an input and it will return the error. So if we recall, the error is a maybe string, so we'll return that. So this way is actually easier because in the update function we can just assign the result of the validation to the error property of each input. So let's continue. Let's see. Okay, as we said, we will define a dictionary, but first let's go to the update part. As we said, it's actually pretty straightforward. We already have the input that we need to change here, so let's just create a function that validates an input like this. Now you may ask, why are we not using the validation directly? It's because we have to, since we will use a dictionary, we will have to deal with a lot of maybes. So I rather keep it separate because of indentation. Otherwise, it will go like all the way from here. So it's much cleaner if we handle maybes in a separate function. Okay, so we'll take an input. That's it. So first of all, we need that dictionary, so let's create it now that we know how we're going to handle our validation. Okay, so we'll create a dictionary with a the key will be a string, and the actual value is going to be a validation. So let's go from here. Let's create it. In Elm, to create a dictionary, we have to create it from a list, actually a list of tuples. So let's use that. It's from the dict module from list, and let's give it a list. Okay, so as our key, we will use the name, because we already know that in a form the input must have a unique name, so that's fine for this purpose. So it's form email. Okay, and okay, so this is a function. We will actually see how to create an anonymous function here. You know, you start with is it like the inverted backslash? I think that this is called, sorry. Okay, I'll take an input and now the body of the function. So basically we want we will keep the validation simple, so feel free to make them a little bit more complex or better to improve them. We will keep things simple. So if the string contains, so we first specify whatever we want to see if it exists. So if string contains an @ symbol, and now we pass the actual value where we want to search for the @ symbol. Okay, so if it contains an @ symbol, we'll say it's valid, so no error, else we will return the error. So it's just please enter a valid email, and that's it. So okay, we're missing a parenthesis here. Okay, let's copy all of this, replace this with a comma, and it's the time for the name. In this case, we will just verify that the name has it isn't empty. So there are a couple of ways with which we can use this. Let's search for Elm string for the package, so we actually see. Okay, string. Okay, oh, we're already in it. So you can see we can use the isEmpty, or we could use the length. Let's see how it goes with the empty. The thing is, so if the string is empty, it just takes one parameter, right? If it's empty, then we actually return the error here. Please enter name. And in here, it would be, oh, what happened there? Instead of a just, it's instead of a just, come on. Yep, there we go. Oops. Instead of a just, it would be nothing. So yeah, simple, right? Again, let's copy this. Okay, it's a comma already. Now here it's going to be password. Now for the password, we just want it to have, let's say, a length of, well, greater or equals than 6. Again, if it's, this is already, this is if it's valid. I mean, if it's true, it's valid. So this actually has the form of, the nothing goes here. It has the form of the first validation we had, and just password, well, the password. Okay, let's see what's going on. The password must contain at least 6 characters. Okay, I think yeah, we're all set with the dictionary. Let's continue with our function. Okay, first we have to find the appropriate key value pair from the dictionary, depending on the input that this function receives. That's why we actually created another function. I already explained why I like to do this, but it's basically just to keep things clean and simple. So okay, let's define what is a validation in our case. So okay, let's check for the dict module. Okay, here it is. It's a get. It receives a comparable, and then it returns the okay, it takes a comparable, then the dictionary of a comparable and a value, and then a maybe of a value. This comparable it would be the key. As we can see here, it's Tomcat is created from lists, same as we did, and there we go. So it would be dict.get the key, which is going to be the name of the input, and remember that all we have to give it's validations, which is here. Okay, that's our validation in place. So in, and now we have to make sure, we have to check what's the well, the case, which case is our validation. So if it actually has a value, we return a maybe string, and if we check the validation, that's what it returns using an input. We have an input here, so awesome. All we have to do is validate the input. V, remember, validation is actually a function. We just gave it a name for our domain. So that's it. If it's a nothing, well, we have to return a nothing. We have to do this manually, there's another way to accomplish this. It would be kind of simpler, which is using a map from maybe, but since the validation returns a maybe, it would be nested. Maybe we can get into that in another video. Let me know if that's something that would interest you. But for now, let's continue. Okay, we have our type, our actual validations, our validation function in place. All we have to do is to tie it to our current logic. So it would be here. We at first, I mean, in a naive way, would be to just update the let me just check. Okay, yeah, error, that's right, and validate input, which takes only the input. Would be change input, but this would be actually wrong, and this is something that it's quite common in Elm, because sometimes you have to update the input. Sorry, you have to update your model and then do something with that updated model. So remember, here we are not passing, we're passing the old input, because only after this takes place, this value is updated. So first, let's define what an updated input is. Remember, we have to update it first, so let's name it updated input. Let's copy this one here, remove this one, so it would be our previous model update which we're using. Okay, it would be in, and all we have to do, let's like this. But now we would update the model that was already updated. We would actually give it to the validate input function. Okay, so okay, I think we're ready already. Let's compile, and yeah, let's go from there. Okay, there's no module dict, so it's a matter of just importing it because it's already contained in the core package. Cannot find dict. Okay, we have to expose the dict module from the dict module. It's nested. Okay, there we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, please enter a valid email, and as soon as we enter the @ symbol, it's okay. The name, as you can see, it's not invalid right away because we validate the input only when a change happens, not from the beginning, not from the get-go. So, but if we delete it, there we go, because it's already updated. That's nice. And for the password, okay, there's an issue here. As you can see, we didn't set the type for our inputs. We'll do that next. Let's just see that our password is working. So it's easier this way. Let's 1 2 3 4 5 6, and there we go. That's awesome. Okay, so let's fix this. Okay, since type is already keyword, the actual way that Elm does it is like this: type, and we already had it in, let's just confirm, but it's called, yep, input type, for the same reasons, because type is a keyword in Elm. Let's compile. Okay, you can find it. Let's see why. Oh yeah, my bad. Input type. Okay, let's see. Okay, what's going on here? Let's return to see what. Okay, I put the input where it wasn't supposed to. Awesome. Now let's try. Okay, that's great. Now it's an actual password type, and that's awesome. So we already have our dynamic form builder. I mean, adding more inputs would be a matter of just creating them here, add a validation, and that's it. We would be done. And yeah, I think this is actually quite simple, quite clean. That's what I really like about Elm. It's amazing. I really like it. So yeah, we're done with our tutorial. Let's just see an overview. Let's see an overview of what we did. As you can see, we are still using a beginner program. That's enough. If you don't have to use the subscriptions and yeah, all other stuff that it's a bit more advanced. In a real application, you would definitely need to use the program or the, let's take a look for the Elm HTML package. It's not this one, this is deprecated. Okay, let's go from here, there we go, and let's look for a program. So this is all these are all the programs that you'll use. Beginner programs are mostly that, for beginner programs. So you most definitely will use these two with flags. We'll actually review that in a future tutorial, but for now it's for you to pass a configuration from JavaScript. Okay, that's what the beginner program is. We created our model, a view, and the object functions. Remember, this general model is actually like a view model, if you will. It's the actual state of your application. This is why the update and view functions work with it, but you should define your more accurate models or more focused models in this way. And yeah, the update function for us is actually quite simple, since we only have one type of message. We broke or separated the update function in several parts, as you can see. Since we have to do a lot of checks and validations to make sure that some maybes are okay, and we have to do some the logic in several steps. It's much better to separate it in other functions. This might seem tedious at first, dealing with maybes, but it's actually awesome, because your code is enforcing you to make sure that everything goes as expected. So there are no surprises when you're running your code. And again, our view is really simple. Let us know if you're interested in knowing maybe how to style your application. There are a lot of ways in how to accomplish that, but that's really almost everything there is to views. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and let us know if you like, and please, yeah, I guess we'll see you soon. See ya. Thank you for watching. I want to invite you to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Also make sure to check out our website, codemmunity.io, where we publish tutorials, ebooks, and courses. See you soon.